Amina and the Golden Bracelet, a story of integrity and resisting temptation. In a village nestled between the lush hills of East Africa, there lived a young girl named Amina. She was known throughout her village for her honesty, grace, and strength of character. Amina's family wasn't wealthy, but they were content, living off the land and taking pride in their work. Amina's parents taught her that wealth was not a measure of happiness or success, rather, integrity and kindness were the treasures to hold dear. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, casting long shadows across the village, Amina was walking home from the market when she noticed something strange in the dirt along the path. It was a glimmer of gold, partially buried beneath the dry leaves and dust. Curious, she knelt down and dug around it. Her eyes widened when she pulled out a beautiful golden bracelet, intricately designed with patterns of ancient symbols. The bracelet sparkled in the fading sunlight, as though it had a life of its own. Amina held the bracelet in her hands, feeling the weight of it, the smoothness of the gold, and the warmth that seemed to radiate from it. She wondered how such a valuable object had ended up here. Was it lost by someone in the village, or had it been dropped by a traveler passing through? The bracelet was beautiful, too beautiful to ignore. But as Amina looked at it, she felt a tug at her heart. She had always been taught to do what was right, no matter the circumstances. Her father's words echoed in her mind: when you find something that does not belong to you, no matter how precious, it is a test of your integrity. Amina stood up, the bracelet still in her hand, and looked around. The village was quiet, with only a few lights flickering in the distance as people settled for the night. She knew she couldn't just take the bracelet for herself, no matter how much she wanted to. She needed to find out who it belonged to. As she walked toward her home, she passed by the village elder's house. Elder Bekari was a wise man, respected by all. He had always been a mentor to Amina, guiding her with advice and wisdom. She decided to show him the bracelet, hoping he would know what to do. Elder Bekari was sitting outside his hut, sipping from a small cup of tea, when Amina arrived. His sharp eyes noticed the golden bracelet in her hand immediately. "Amina," he said in his deep, steady voice, "what do you have there?" Amina hesitated for a moment before answering. "I found this on the path on my way home. It's beautiful, but I don't know who it belongs to. I thought I should bring it to you. Maybe you know whose it is." Elder Bekari examined the bracelet closely, turning it over in his hands. His expression grew thoughtful, and then he looked up at Amina with a serious look in his eyes. "This is no ordinary bracelet, Amina," he said quietly. "It is a family heirloom, passed down through generations. It is said to belong to the royal family of the neighboring kingdom. Whoever owns it has great wealth and power." Amina's heart skipped a beat. She had heard stories of the royal family, rulers with treasures beyond imagination. But why would one of them be walking on the path in her village, leaving behind such a precious object? And why had it ended up in her hands? Elder Bekari continued, "The bracelet has great significance. It is said that whoever finds it is faced with a test, one that will determine their character. You must return it to the rightful owner, no matter the temptation to keep it. The reward for doing so will be far greater than any material wealth." Amina swallowed hard. She had never imagined that such a simple find could hold so much weight. She wanted to keep the bracelet. She could already picture herself wearing it, showing it off to her friends, becoming admired by all. But deep down, she knew that was not the right choice. Elder Bekari's words rang in her mind: the reward for doing what is right will be far greater than any material wealth. "I will return it," Amina said, her voice firm, even though doubt lingered in her heart. "I will do the right thing." Elder Bekari nodded, a proud smile spreading across his face. "You are wise, Amina. Your integrity will guide you to the right path. But remember, the journey may not be easy. There may be obstacles and temptations along the way. Stay true to yourself. The next day, Amina set out early in the morning, determined to return the bracelet. Elder Bakery had told her that the royal family lived across the hills in a grand palace, so she knew her journey would take several days. She packed some food and water, wearing her best clothes, and began walking. As she walked, the village slowly disappeared behind her, and the landscape became more rugged and untamed. The sun beat down fiercely, but Amina remained undeterred. She thought of her family, her village, and the lessons they had taught her. She thought of the bracelet, and how it would soon be returned to its rightful owner. But as the days passed, Amina began to feel the weight of the bracelet more and more. Every time she stopped to rest, she would pull it out of her bag and gaze at its golden gleam. Sometimes, she would fantasize about what it would be like to have such wealth and power. Maybe her life could be different, easier. Maybe she could escape the struggles of her village and live in luxury. One afternoon, as she neared the edge of the forest near the palace, she met a man who was sitting by the side of the road. He was dressed in fine clothes and carried himself with an air of confidence. Amina greeted him politely, and the man smiled warmly at her. "Oh, you are traveling far, young one," he said, eyeing the bag at her side. "What is it that you carry with you? I see that you are well prepared for a long journey." Amina hesitated for a moment but decided to be honest. "I am on my way to return a bracelet that I found. It belongs to the royal family." The man's eyes sparkled when he heard this. "Oh, the royal family. They are indeed powerful people. But tell me, what if I told you that you could keep that bracelet? What if I offered you something in exchange, something far more valuable?" Amina felt a chill run down her spine. She didn't trust this man, but the temptation of wealth began to whisper in her mind. The man noticed her hesitation and leaned closer, lowering his voice. "You could have anything you desire. Power, riches, respect. All you have to do is keep the bracelet. No one would ever know. The royal family would never miss it. Think about it. You could change your life forever." Amina's heart raced. The bracelet was calling to her. She could feel its golden allure, tempting her to forget her journey and keep it for herself. But she remembered Elder Bakery's words, the reward for doing what is right will be far greater than any material wealth. With a deep breath, Amina shook her head. "No. The bracelet does not belong to me. I must return it to its rightful owner." The man's smile faltered, and for a moment, he seemed angry. But then, he just nodded and stepped aside, allowing her to pass. Amina continued her journey, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew the temptation would not be the last she would face, but she was determined to stay true to her integrity. When she finally arrived at the royal palace, she was met by the royal guards. They were surprised to see her, a simple village girl, standing before them with a golden bracelet in her hand. After explaining her story, the guards took her to the queen herself. The queen listened intently to Amina's tale, her eyes softening with gratitude when she saw the bracelet. "This is the bracelet of my ancestors," she said. "It was lost many years ago. You have no idea what a great service you have done by returning it. Your honesty and integrity are rare, and you have passed a great test." The queen took Amina's hands in hers and smiled. "As a reward, I offer you a place in my court. You will never want for anything again. But I can also see that you are a person who values more than material wealth. So instead, I offer you this: your village will never suffer from drought again. Your people will always have food, and your land will flourish." Amina's eyes filled with tears. She had never imagined such a reward. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I did not seek this reward. I only sought to do what is right." The queen nodded. "You have shown the greatest form of wisdom and integrity, Amina. That is the true treasure." Amina returned to her village with the queen's blessing, knowing that her decision to resist temptation had not only helped her but had ensured a prosperous future for her people. She had passed the test of integrity, and the rewards were far greater than anything gold could offer. From that day forward, Amina's name was known far and wide, not for the golden bracelet she had found, but for the unwavering integrity that had guided her every step.